Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and we are back with the Exploring the Arsenal series, chapter number 27, I believe, featuring the G36E family. And we're going to kick this off with the G36E or G36KE, which is GP rare variant of the G36E family. And right off the bat, I'm going to have to tell you guys that the KE variant is much more different than the other variants. In fact, the differences between those two is so great that it's almost as if the G36KE and the G36E are almost different guns in a sense. The mechanics of the G36KE is completely changed from the G36E, and its overall performance is much more different. It's not better or worse. That's up to your guys' opinions, and it's completely subjective. But it's definitely changed. No one can deny that. And the KE variant, in some cases, is more advantageous than the G36E, whereas the G36E on its part can be more advantageous than the KE in certain aspects, and vice versa, and what have you. But this is the KE review. Let's get started on the KE. So the statistical changes on the G36KE over the original G36E are the facts that it is much more portable, and yeah, that's about it. I thought there was another statistical change, but apparently only its portability is affected. And indeed, it is much faster than the original G36E. The KE variant has a shortened barrel, and I'm assuming that's what it means. That's what the KE means. It probably stands for something in German like shortened barrel or something like that. So I'm sure my German subscribers can fill me in on what the KE designation means, and I'll be trusting you guys on that one. And anyways, the portability is increased from 57 to 63. Now that's a 6-point increase in portability. And that's pretty freaking significant. I know the Autumn Valkyrie had had its portability boosted from 57 to 50 or 57 to 65, which is also a huge bump up. And yeah, the KE and the G36E Autumn Valkyrie both follow in their own footsteps, and their portability is very much so increased. So you can definitely run around a lot faster than you would normally be able to with the original G36E, with the KE or the Autumn Valkyrie. Now let's talk about its mechanics a little bit. The recoil statistic is technically the same as it is on the G36E at 68. However, the G36KE, the KE's recoil spread is much more. It feels blocky. I don't know how else to describe it, or I don't know what other word could describe it in a more appropriate way. It feels blocky, and that kind of it is attributed to the fact that, or to its muzzle noise. The G36E's muzzle noise is like a sharp pinging noise, like a bam 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 bam, as you guys probably can hear in the gameplay that you see in front of you guys. And the rate of fire is technically the same on the KE as well over the G36E, but I feel like the KE's is slower by a tad bit. And this means that, for me anyway, this means that the spread on the G36E KE is much more manageable. I don't know if any of you guys agree with me or feel the same way, but for me personally, the KE's recoil is more manageable than the G36E's, but it's not without its drawbacks. The spread can get absolutely freaking ridiculous, but for the first maybe 4 or 5 shots or so, while spraying from the hip, moving around, it's much more accurate than the G36E. What I mean by that is the fact that the G36E, I've mentioned before that the G36E, you need to place your first few shots in, otherwise your chances of killing your target is significantly reduced. However, the G36KE, I feel that kind of window of opportunity is is more forgiving in that you can afford to put a few more bullets down range, and those last few, or those next few bullets will be more forgiving than the bullets on the G36E. Like for example, G36C, I said that the first 2 or 3 shots will be your most accurate. In the case of the G36KE, I would say that the kind of shots that are most accurate is increased to like 4 to maybe 5. 5 is pushing, but maybe 4, definitely 3. So in that sense, hope you guys will understand what I'm trying to get at here. In that sense, the G36KE has an advantage over the G36E. Also, I would like to point out the fact that for me anyway, the recoil spread doesn't spread out as fast as much. Even though, although eventually the G36KE's maximum spread will be the same as the G36E's maximum spread, but it takes longer time to get there. The recoil kickback. The kickback on the KE, it's much more bouncier in scope. The G36E is like kind of like a staticky but diagonal, whereas the KE is like it bounces around in a circle almost, and it bounces up really high. I don't know if it's technically higher than what the G36E scope does, but it definitely feels like it bounces around in a tight circle, and that's why I recommend you guys not to tap fire with the KE and instead just spray down scope down range with your scope. That means that although your long range capabilities are sacrificed a lot, the KE I don't think the KE, or me personally, I don't feel like the KE is meant for long range combat anyway. It's more that close range, or the close middle range. Sorry, I gotta get the phone. Alright, sorry about that phone call. Anyways, the G36E's tap fire ability is ruined to shit. You cannot tap fire. Earlier in this video, you guys saw me try the tap fire. It just doesn't work. And unfortunately for me though, someone just ran across my scope and I got a lucky PZ off him. But that wasn't supposed to happen. That was just to demonstrate how screwed up the tap fire is on the KE. You just can't tap fire anymore with the G36KE, and it's kind of ironic because the G36E was so good at tap firing, yet Nexon went ahead and screwed up their tap fire ability on the KE, which doesn't really make any sense. But I mean, if they ruined it for balancing sake, then I guess I can understand a little bit. Because honestly speaking, I feel like the KE is much better than the G36E at close range combat. But that's just my opinion only, anyway. So that, and the scope is the integrated silent, or not silencer, the integrated scope is pretty much the same as it is on the G36E. And like I said, the in-scope recoil is much more bouncier, and it bounces around in a tight circle. Not tight, but it bounces around in a more predictable circle. So thus the overall controllability is roughly turns out to be, or my opinion of it turns out to be the same as it is on the G36E. There are pros and cons to both of them that kind of even out the recoil controllability to make me say that the controllability overall is manageable, but it can be very difficult to master if you're not careful, and it can be extremely easy once you got it down. So the sprint drawback, draw speed, center speed. The center speed anyway is, I think it should be identical to the G36E. I haven't been paying attention to center speed too much these days, but I have no problem with it, and it for the most part it performs pretty much on par with the G36E in terms of center speed. But the sprint drawback, sorry about that, the draw speed and the reload speed, they're all roughly similar, but it's just that their animations are different because the mechanics have changed on the G36KE. I would have to venture out to say that the reload speed on the KE is a little bit faster than the G36E, but not by much. So however you want to take that, go ahead. Fire modes, fully automatic only. Luck, it's a little bit higher than the G36E, so take that however much you will. And the ammo capacity, same. Key physical characteristics is like the G36E, but you can tell that the barrel is shortened significantly. So look for the barrel length. And muzzle noise, that's also changed. Like I said, it sounds more pingy, if you guys can imagine that, if you guys aren't listening to the audio. The muzzle noise, alright, we already covered that. The attachment options, same. Fire team worthy, I guess you can use it for fire team. Not so much for quarantine, but because of that nearly 7-point increase or 6-point increase in portability, I can see why you want to use it for quarantine. And frank personal opinions, KE, boss at CQC, not so boss at long range. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I barely finished this review. Oh, I forgot to mention, the G36E KE is unlocked at, hold on, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, Lieutenant Colonel 1, and it costs 1425 GP a day. Thanks for watching, guys. This is the true end of the video.